Wow, 2020 is here, and we are now having 8K resolution toys to play with as photographers or filmographers that we are. I've just come across this. There's a YouTuber who deals with drones. A guy called Tom's Tech Time. He's done a video about this new drone that's coming out with 8K capable footage, which is monumental. So if that's a 1080, 4K being twice the size, and then 8K. I can't believe 8K is really that big. That is ridiculous. That seems more than it should be, but yeah, that is massive. I think it's like a 40 something megapixel image there. So huge files, and it's so over the requirements that are needed. So again, in one of my recent videos, I talked about how I think drones are kind of dead. This company, Autel, are coming out with some new drones. It's a new company with their new series. They've got these slightly bigger drones that, as Tom says, feel a bit cheap, feel a bit crap. And they don't look all that stable in the footage that he showed us there. But it's just another drone with ridiculous filming capability. But however, I want to say, somebody said, great videos always. Great for pro documentary makers, yes, and for law enforcement instead of having to use a helicopter. And that was 5 days ago. Pretty much at the same time that happened, 5 days ago, in the UK, Norwich Police drone crashed within seconds' notice. So the law enforcement trying to use their drone, and with a fully qualified pilot that's had to go through all the training, yeah, their drones are crashing out of the sky. One of their propellers overloaded. However, that happens whenever flying. It's a highly expensive drone as well. I think that one, being through the taxpayers, is costing about £30,000. I think we might have another photo of it. LeicestershireMercury.co.uk. Yeah, so flying near a tower block, cool, looking for crime. But it just becomes a bit awkward when, instead of just looking for crime, you end up having to shout to everyone, tell them to get out of the way, because your crime-fighting drone is crashing to the ground and could hurt, injure anybody, or damage vehicles and all that kind of stuff. So it's just like, yeah, these drones are a great idea. Just even when professional pilots who've had hours of flight experience with a very expensive drone have them falling out of the sky, you're just like, nah. I bet the police force there are just like, are we really getting much use out of it? I wonder if there's any comments on here. Yeah, probably about a £15,000 loss going on there. Or is a £35,000 drone. Probably insured, so an insurance man's paying for that. So yeah, I'm sure some law enforcement are going to try and use their drones for enforcing law in some sort of way. However, I think a lot of other ones would go, oh, I've got to train somebody to do this, we've got to pay somebody to do this, the weather's got to be right enough to do this. Even when they do it, there's got to be a safe zone everywhere. If anything goes wrong, if the pilot's absolutely perfect but something goes wrong with that, it could be an absolute insurance nightmare. I reckon a lot of times the police will go, we can't be bothered filling out the paperwork. Even for police just now, I think there's something ridiculous, like 90% of their workload is in the office filling out paperwork. That's why there's not so many out in the street doing their actual work. And that's for driving your car to a crime scene and dealing with that. Imagine driving to your crime scene, then taking out your drone, and then having to do all the paperwork and check. By the time you've actually got ready, criminals are gone. It's going to be of no use whatsoever. So yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I still think drones are very much going to be dying. This company's tried to bring out a new one, and by trying to get new people to go over to it, they're using 8K video footage. So Tom has put up footage here, and it's spectacular. Don't look at my stuff. Go to his own channel to see it. But I'm going to go full screen here. I've got it in its full 4K resolution here, and it is lovely sharp video footage going on here. It is a wee bit glitchy, a wee bit sticky. Certainly internet wise a little bit slow. The other thing he says is trying to edit it is near on impossible. Even with his high-end Macs, he's having to make proxies to try and edit it, and it's just very, very slow. Even just trying to view it rather than even edit it. But what I'm noticing here, so here's another thing. So it's meant to be all this whoop-de-doo. He kind of does a little zoom in the middle of the shot. I'm looking at the sides and at the corners. And unless he's added some sort of blurring to the shot, the corners are really crap. Let's see. So he's talking about a little bit of noise, a little bit of grain when you zoom in 500%. So that's not really so much of an issue.
Slight distortion. It can be fixed in post-production easily, if at all necessary. Back to some more.
And then here, I don't know whether it's his processing that's going on, but there's some fun colours going on. So there's quite a bit of a purple hue to it up here. Then green cast over here. Again, in the water, there's a green cast. Unless he's trying to like up the saturation and it's just not done very well. But down here, if you look at this area, if you get a chance to look at it, it is mush. It's really blurry.
For impressions. And of course, the camera specs.
He says it's great, but then the more I looked at it, here's all good. Here's pretty rubbish down at the sides.
It's a half-inch sized sensor. It is an inconvenient format, but it performed overall well, though a true 1-inch sensor.
My goodness, even trying to play this in 4K is a pain in the ass. And again here, there's some sort of colour issues going on here. There's like a yellowy green here, there's a greeny bit, then it goes a wee bit purple, and certainly in the corners it's looking not great. Really not great. So yeah, when a company, I'll not blow it because it's kind of play it, I'll just bring it down to normal resolution, but 1080. It's really not that impressive going on. So okay, there is potentially this resolution, but if the lens isn't quite sharp enough, it's a tiny, tiny little lens that's on it. Let's see if we've got a shot of it. It's just like a normal drone. So trying to get 8K sharp files out of that is one thing. Trying to get out of that sharp at the corners as well, that's another. Getting it sharp in the center, anybody can get it sharp in the center, but when you try to get it in the corners, especially with the vibration that's going on in these little drones, I just don't think it's going to quite work. So again, bravo, you brought in a new drone. It looks kind of like all the other ones. It's got a fancy pants camera, but it's not really doing anything. Again, later on in his footage, he's talking about how it sounds like a toy. It's not a touchscreen capable app that they've got. It's like, hey, we're going to beat DJI. DJI are rubbish. And then you just kind of look at other companies and go, look, this one's got 8K. And then when you actually use it, it's
the antenna angle on the remote control. Safe to fly.
Anyways.
It sounds horrendous. So yeah, I think I'm still safe in saying that drones are past their best. They're not going to... I would sell my shares in DJI if you've got that just now. And if you're looking to buy this, you still can't actually buy it just now. I think it is pricing available, announced soon. So it's currently in production. I don't think it's really going to kick off. Even at 8K, because the quality that I saw there really wasn't that impressive. But let me know what you think. Cheers. Bye-bye.